Hi everyone, how's everyone doing here today? Thank you for watching, and all I can say is I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did, along with the rest of the country, because it was, quite the performance here. Naturally, I'm referring to the congressional hearing that Hunter Biden showed up, the son of the president, who's not a politician that, the GOP just want to tie to a pole, tar and feather him, and parade him all around DC and see, look, justice, justice, They don't really care about, well, I guess that's their idea of law and order, but I'm not so sure about that. So, naturally, when he arrived, it didn't take long for the whole scenario to just descend into total chaos. And, in short, it was an absolute shit show, okay? Let's be real here. And you could tell by the way everyone was talking is that these birds are getting restless. I guess they're pretty excited, too. But for the most part, it was just about pure spectacle. I didn't really see any questions being asked. It was just a lot of people, primarily from the right, putting out statements and everything. And fortunately, there were some sane Democrats there that were there to drop a wrench in the wheel and just call the whole thing for what it is. Just pure political theater. And that was the whole point. And, this all falls into the whole thing that the GOP has descended into in this party of MAGA, where it claims it wants justice for Hunter Biden because of the crimes, or alleged crimes, I should say, that he committed, because they are so true believers of accountability. And this is all based on the marching orders, from their co-leader, Donald Trump, who is just, because of the fact that he's being prosecuted. First, they don't want to impeach Joe Biden, and, they're going to try and do it through his son. Obviously, he can't be impeached because, like I said, he's not a politician. So they're going to try and drum up whatever charges they can. And he has been indicted. And it looks like he's guilty of certain crimes, which I've talked about it before. Now, me personally, along with most of the voters, we don't care if he gets arrested or convicted, if he's actually guilty of crime, because we believe in accountability. But again, that wasn't the whole point of this thing, because a lot of these MAGA heads, talking about the politicians, by the way, are just only there to put on a show, to please their dear old donors, so they can go on Fox News and brag. Now, supposedly he did, they said he defied the congressional subpoena, which is kind of rich coming from the right, which I'll get into. And previously, as I had mentioned, that, they gave him the option, and he did come in, but they wanted it, they gave him the choice. Either it can be in a private hearing, or it can be a televised hearing. He went for the televised operation, and James Comer was like, no, we don't want that. Because again, they want to put in a show, but the only way to really do that without them getting in the way is that they do it in private. This way, they can go on Fox, Newsmax, OAN, and then go on this whole, blitzkrieg about, Hunter lied and did all these other things, this and that, and we don't have anything on camera to prove it. So, at one point, Hunter showed up originally and gave a press statement and left, and that's when they felt he defied a subpoena. Now, there were some key members there on the Democratic side that really illustrated the hypocrisy, which we've talked about plenty of times. We got to keep talking about it, because that's what this corrupt GOP is, and it's best to call them out for their corruption. You had Jared Moskowitz, he's the Democrat from Florida, and originally he did a vote. Let's say, who really wants to hear Hunter testify? He wanted to hear something. I wouldn't mind hearing about it, but nobody raised their hand, at least not on the right. You know why? Because again, they don't want their, hear testimony. They don't want to ask questions. Again, they want to, just pretty much, throw this guy to the wolves and turn it into, and make an example out of him. And as much as they complained about the subpoenas, again, that's pretty rich, because during the January 6th hearings that they had, Moskowitz listed the following members who also defied congressional subpoenas: Jim Jordan, Scott Perry, Mark Meadows, Mo Brooks, Kevin McCarthy, to name only a few. There were more, but you kind of get the idea. So it's the two-tier justice system that the Republicans want, whereby if you're a Democrat or you're related to a Democrat, then justice throw the book at you. But if a Republican does it, we'll give them a pass. Case in point, supposedly they're worried about the job that Hunter got, and maybe supposedly some payments that Joe Biden allegedly got payments from China. Oh, China, that's the perfect red flag. Yet now it turns out that Donald Trump, he too has supposedly gotten payments from China. Jared Kushner, got a few billion from the Saudis. but they don't want to talk about those things. Now, keep in mind, I'm not bringing that up as a whataboutism, which they love to constantly do. When in doubt, pivot. I'm not trying to deflect, I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy here. Because as I've said in a previous video, accountability across the table, regardless who. They're trying to impeach Joe Biden. Why? Because Donald Trump got impeached, so they want to do tit for tat. That's not how impeachment works. If Joe Biden actually did something, if they have a specific charge, evidence that proves he committed something that is an impeachable offense, by all means, impeach him, but they don't got that. And they're still trying to this day. And it's even got to the point where the mainstream media, even Fox News, looks at them and says, they got nothing. What are they doing? These House Republicans, they are incompetent. They can't get nothing done. Same thing with whatever crimes Joe may have committed. They brought up stuff he's done as a senator or a vice president, but that was before his presidency. That's not something you can impeach him on. And with whatever crimes or alleged crimes that they got on Hunter, it pales compared to Trump's kids, but more importantly, it doesn't tie anything to his father, President Biden himself. But again, they just keep trying, so Hunter Biden has pretty much become the next best thing. And you should have seen it if you haven't watched it. I mean, how could you have missed it? It's all over the news and social media. The second he showed up, right away, Nancy Mace, South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, another hypocrite and one who likes to play victim. She went into the whole thing, oh, what are you scared of? You got no balls. Yes, she used that exact phrase, you got no balls. Hello, he showed up, so obviously he's not scared. It's just, again, you got to put on your little performance there. And it started immediately getting erupted, and there was a lot of back and forth talking and even some shouting. And she went off and, oh, you're not letting me talk because I'm a woman, which wasn't the case. But hey, when in doubt, play the victim. And if you're a woman, just claim it's all about sexism. If it really is, sure, call it out. But that wasn't the case here. It's just her, just being a whiny little hypocrite. And once it eventually got to Marjorie Taylor Greene, he just left. And I don't blame him. And that's when the whole erupted, and Green went on to the whole, oh, you're afraid of me. No, it's not that he's afraid of you, okay? He was there. It's just, he doesn't want to indulge you in your little political theater. How many times have we seen Marjorie Taylor Greene, in any congressional, event or gathering where all she does is just go off because, again, she's got no substance. None of these MAGA heads in the GOP do. It is all surface with nothing underneath it. All shine and glimmer, but pretty much hollow. There's not an ounce of substance to it. And in the end, they still had no evidence. They still, they didn't really even want to ask any questions. And Jasmine Crockett, the Democrat from Texas, she was a kicker. She just reamed them out as well. And AOC was there too, to also point out some of the hypocrisy. Because these people do not care about the Constitution. They are not patriotic. They're not even patriots, okay? They certainly don't care about law and order, okay? Because they're following a cult leader who has broken the law, who already has 4 indictments, 91 felony charges based on evidence, which is something they have little or nothing on Hunter and absolutely zero on President Biden. So they can scream foul all they want, but, I had to say, it is entertaining, and yeah, I'm putting up all this enthusiasm, but in the end, to me, it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment to our country. When other countries see this, they look at our political system and seeing how this whole MAGA thing has deranged into this party of Trump and not a party of country. Yes, not a party of country, because Trump does not support country. But they're so, beholden to him, and like I said, they're pretty much scared shitless of saying any bad thing about Trump, because the minute they do, they're always on their guard. They don't want to bring up Jared Kushner or any of those past crimes. They always want to be on Trump's defense, because God forbid he sees them show any slight of doubt, boom, you're gone. You're a rhino. That's Republican in name only, the acronym for those who aren't familiar with it. And that's pretty much the gist of it. And it is an absolute humiliation to our Congress, because it shows, like I said, they're not getting anything done. On Fox, even Marjorie Taylor Greene not too long ago was complaining about how the House Republicans aren't getting anything done. Oh, on a side note, Mike Johnson, who's another freak of nature in the GOP, there's considerable, I hear from the Freedom Caucus, that there's disappointment in him, that his days might be numbered. Gee, He has an even shorter record than Kevin McCarthy. I guess they're trying to see who can be the speaker for the least amount of time. He's off to a pretty good start, or a pretty bad start, I should say. And as Fox, Kilmeade, and I'm blanking on the other guy's name, they even pointed it out. They're going into an election year. And what do they have to show for it? And the answer is nothing. They got no accomplishments. It's just put on all the spectacle and everything. And in the end, that's all that MAGA is. And as entertaining as it is, it's not something we need. You want entertainment? Go to Netflix. Go to some streaming service. Paramount Plus, Hulu. Plenty of movies there. You can be just as entertained. Vote these freak of natures out, okay? They are not there to help us. And the more you vote out, what are they going to do? They're not going to disappear. They'll go on Fox and they'll keep on ranting and complaining about, oh, stolen elections, this and that, Hunter Biden, they're going after Trump, life is unfair, Biden is the Antichrist, and we're going into World War III. You get the idea? Because again, in the end, it doesn't matter if they have facts on our side, which they don't. It doesn't matter what the truth is, which they're not interested in. And it's certainly doesn't matter of justice, as long as they get their one-sided justice, just so they can put on yet another show. It's all about serving to a cult leader. And in 2024, when he runs, we need to keep him out of the White House. Otherwise, this whole spectacle is just going to get far worse, as if it hasn't gotten bad enough already. So, but by all means, GOP, MAGA heads, keep putting on a stupid show. Keep making fools of yourselves. Keep embarrassing yourselves in the meantime, okay? Because in the end, when you have to go for re-election, sure, the MAGA cult will go for you, but the independent voters, the other ones, they're going to look at it and say, what has this person done? And the answer is nothing. And that's how we get rid of them. Vote them out. So, anyway, let's get ready for the next performance. Whenever that'll be, it should be soon enough, if you think about it. Thank you for watching. I really hope you understand.